Wolfpack, and welcome to the TBL Summer League Week 1 Team Builder. So, this week we are Vsing Scoots and the Mississippi Morpekos, which Scoots has lots of experience, so very scary for me because I am still quite new to Draft League in a way, but I have got obviously a lot of kind of experience just in general like team building and kind of knowing how to use a large variety of mons. So I have kind of got some experience, but he's got a lot of Draft League experience, and he has said to me that he has built a really good team against my team. So that becomes a little bit concerning and scary. So yeah, we have got on this team. Also, go check out Scoots' channel and YouTube channel and his Twitch. Sorry, I'm completely phased because it's really hot, and you probably see that I'm sweaty a little bit. But yeah, go check out his YouTube and his Twitch. It's fantastic. Go check him out. Go see what kind of things he does, and give him a subscribe and a follow. I know he'd definitely really appreciate that, as we all do. So his team. Cloister, it can be incredibly defensive. It can set up things like spikes. It can also shell smash, which is really annoying. We've got Roserade, which Roserade again is annoying. It can set up hazards. It could be Choice Scarf. It could be Choice Specs. It can cause problems for me. Obviously, it has things like Giga Drain, which can just be frustrating. It has things like Sludge Bomb, which actually can quite freely click on me because I don't really have a solid resist to it. I suppose Rhyperior would come out to it, but then it would go down to a grass type attack. So, you know, it's quite difficult for me to kind of deal with the Roserade, but I've got a few strategies in mind. We've got Pangro. Now, Pangro is really scary and really hits most of my team super hard. The main mon that deals with it is Araquanid and also Thwacky a little bit, but it does have super effective on 3 members of my team, and also can probably just hit, I think even with the +1 Hitmonlee, it can just take it out with a close combat. That's how powerful this thing is. Although it is slow, so I do have a lot of mons that do outspeed it. Torkoal, which is an annoying mon. It can rapid spin, it can use fire type attacks. Haven't got too much that would really dislike a fire type attack. Obviously Thwacky would, but a lot of my team are relatively okay here. Obviously Will-O-Wisps could be a big problem because I am running 5 physical mons, so you know, could be a big problem if I do get burnt, although Araquanid cannot be burnt, which is really nice. Aromatisse, which really I don't know what it does too well, but I don't really have too many attacks to hit it. I don't think it comes in this matchup, honestly. Like, it doesn't really do too much in this scenario. If it does come, then I can work around it, but it is just a little bit of an annoying one to deal with. Togedemaru is obviously 4 times weak to ground, but at the same time, it is a pretty good mon, having things like Nuzzle at its beck and call. It can use Zing Zap, it can use Iron Head. It can hit my mons pretty hard. It has Iron Barbs as its ability, so you know, things like close combats do become a little bit kind of more problematic with it, but it's definitely a really good counter to Xurkitree. It just walls Xurkitree, so that's probably a mon that I'm expecting to come. We've got Drampa, which is a pretty good, solid Dragon type mon. Obviously it gets so much coverage, so you know, it's definitely a Pokemon to be scared of. We've got Golurk, which again is a Pokemon to probably be scared of. With the grassy terrain up, Tauros can deal with it quite easily, unless it's running like Stomping Tantrum or High Horsepower, which honestly I think it probably will do. I think Scoots is experienced enough to be able to see if there's a grassy Surge Pokemon, there's going to be grassy terrain, I need to run, or there's the opportunity for that, I need to not run Earthquake. So I think he'll definitely see that. We've got Ditto, which is such an annoying mon, and honestly, if this gets in against one of my power mons, then, you know, I'm basically done. Like, if it's Choice Scarfed and it goes on my Unburdened Hitmonlee, then I just have massive problems. I just cannot deal with it. We've got Behem, which is a Trick Room setter. I'm really hoping that that thing doesn't come because I believe that's his only Trick Room setter from what I can see. Maybe Aromatisse gets access to Trick Room. I will double check that before the match, but Behem is a solid Trick Room setter and he has got a very slow team, so Trick Room is definitely an option here. An option that really matches up against my team. So, you know, obviously having Araquanid with Sticky, I've got Sticky Webs this week, so that may not work as well if he's running Trick Room. I do have to replan myself around that, but things like Thwacky having priority is definitely going to be really handy here. I've got Rhyperior, which is quite slow. in general, and Araquanid is also quite slow. So Trick Room I can potentially kind of deal with, and Type Null, which because it can just be annoying, honestly. What mons am I expecting to come? I'll talk about at the end of the video, I think. So we have got Hitmonlee, which is a really frustrating Pokemon, honestly. Not frustrating. No, that's wrong. It's a good Pokemon. I like Hitmonlee. I think it really does put in some work here. If I get the Unburden boost, then, and I've got chip damage on things like the Cloyster and the Roserade potentially, I can basically just take out the majority of the team with one hit, which is really nice. So with Hitmonlee, I do have kind of that ability to take different things on, and we do have a lot of special defense. So barring the Pangro and the Cloyster, we do have a lot of natural special defense, which should allow us to be able to live just general hits, at least a couple of general hits. Obviously, having just base 50 HP is not very helpful, but you know, I put some investment in there, which does allow us to be able to live a couple of hits. Rapid Spin, now that'll get us even faster if we need it, if we need to, but obviously it will allow us to get rid of any hazards on the field, which would be really helpful. Close Combat, which just goes for the Cloyster, it goes for the Pangro, it hits the Torkoal super hard, the Togedemaru goes down, the Drampa goes down, the Ditto is difficult to deal with, but at the same time, Close Combat will do a lot of damage to it. BHM goes down to a knockoff, or takes a lot of damage to a knockoff, and Type Null goes down to a Close Combat because it is only normal type, which I thank the heavens for, because obviously Steel Valley is really difficult to plan for because you never know what type it is. Blaze Kick obviously hits the Roserade for super effective damage, it hits the Togedemaru if I ever need to kind of go for that 50-50 split option. Even hits Golurk for normal effective damage, but it does mainly hit the Roserade and the Togedemaru there. We've got the knockoff on here, and that's more specifically for the BHM and the Golurk. It hits them both for super effective damage. Obviously, they're not going to like taking a knockoff, and they lose their item as well. So that's a really big help for me in terms of this. So we've got enough speed to outspeed a Togedemaru that's scarfed under Unburden. So that's kind of my speed aim there. Obviously with Trick Room it does become a little bit awkward, but I potentially can get some shenanigans where I can get Hitmonlee without activating the Grassy Seed, which is a little bit more risky, but that does allow for me to be able to take out some of the faster Pokemon in the team. Obviously Cloyster, he's got an annoying team because he can run it slow and he can run it fast. It's kind of like my RBL team. You can either run it as a slow team or as a fast team. You have to guess which way, and you can I also run it both ways on the same week. So him seeing my team, he is going to assume these mons are relatively fast. But at the same time, I have Rhyperior, which is slow. And Rhyperior being slow, obviously, it's not going to be zeroed out on anything, but it's slow enough that it can actually cause some problems for the opposing team. Now obviously if I don't get sticky webs up, that's going to be really helpful for me in a Trick Room scenario, so I'm going to hold off with getting the sticky webs up. So moving on to our second one, obviously we've got sticky webs on Araquanid. Now you'll notice there is no item on Araquanid. That isn't me forgetting anything. This is a strategy. This is a strategy that I've never tried before, but the thing is Pangoro just tears through my team. It can 1/2 hit almost anything, so I don't really have a solid switch in except for Araquanid. Araquanid is my best solution to it, and I can go into it, take a knockoff because realistically that's what it's most likely to use. Go into the Araquanid, just take it. It does about 30% I think it's like a 99% chance to free hit KO, so I then definitely get some damage off on it, which is really nice. I also have the ability to reflect here as well, so that allows me to be able to reduce damage even more from Pangro, so that's kind of my thought process there. We've got Water Bubble as our ability because it's the best ability for Araquanid. I did consider going for the Water Absorb, but the Liquidation boost for the 2x damage was just too good. Leech Life for a bit of recovery, and then Sticky Web to slow down the team if he's going for a faster team rather than a Trick Room team. Now, I don't know why, but I've got in my mind that he's going to be using Trick Room. I think this team really lends itself to Trick Room, honestly. Like, if he had, like, Iron Ball Ditto, that would be a really fantastic move. And obviously, if he watches this and he hasn't considered this, this team actually does really, really well under Trick Room. Obviously, Cloyster does struggle a little bit with Trick Room and Shell Smash. Roserade kind of struggles in Trick Room as well a little bit, but Torkoal's a really good Trick Room mon. Like, Togedemaru is not the most amazing, but you know, it's It's got a little bit of bulk to it. Drampa's really good in Trick Room, Golurk's good in Trick Room, BEM, and as I said, Iron Ball ditto. So actually, like, this team in the Trick Room is disgusting. Back to my team, we've got Araquanid being max defense, which is really, really nice. Really, really nice there. Moving on to our next one, we've got Galarian Articuno. Now this thing just puts a lot of threat into his team, so it takes out the Roserade, it takes out the Pangoro, it really damages the Torkoal. Togedemaru is a problem, but I can U-turn out because I am faster than the Togedemaru, I believe, in most cases. We have got Drampa, I can hit with a Freezing Glare, which is, and even a Hurricane. Golurk is a bit of a problem, but you know, I can probably deal with it. Ditto, again, bit of a problem, but I can work around Galarian Articuno in that case. BEM is annoying. It doesn't exactly wall me, but it does become a bit annoying, and it can start setting up Carmines if he's got that. And then Type Null is just annoying in general, so yeah, could Parting Shot me, which, you know, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but also not the best. So here we are fast enough to outspeed the Roserade, so making sure I'm outspeeding the Roserade in this scenario, and that allows me to be able to get Hurricane or a Freezing Glare off. I'd probably go for Hurricane on that, and I am thinking Articuno will be my lead. Now I've got Colbur Berry on here because Pangoro, obviously with knockoff, is a definite risk, and me reducing the damage from that is definitely going to be helpful, and then a Hurricane just takes it out unless it's like an AV set and quite especially defensive. What I've gone with for EVs, as I said, to outspeed Roserade, and also to go for the max special attack, because I thought, you know, that's really important. The speed was specifically, as I said, for Roserade, so I needed that timid nature rather than the modest, which I really would have liked, because it would have given me that little bit more power, which I'd have really appreciated. Moving on, we have got Tauros. Sorry, I'm really warm. It's just, like, it's mini heatwave in the UK, and, you know, it's hot. So we've got Tauros here. Life Orb. Oh, I need to regen that because I've accidentally clicked Intimidate instead of Sheer Force. So I need to redo that. In Life Orb, Sheer Force is what it should be. We've got Close Combat, High Horsepower, Throat Chop, and Body Slam. It hits the majority of the team for really good damage there as well. And Body Slam is obviously there for the stab. We have got enough speed investment to outspeed basically any Pokemon on his team. I can't think what the exact reason I went for that speed was for. I can't remember. I think it was to outspeed the Togedemaru. I think, maybe, probably. So yeah, this thing hits really hard. Obviously I've got some attack investment, so I'm max attack there, and I've got some HP investment as well to hopefully live a couple more hits, because we are somewhat bulky on our defenses. Like, Tauros is definitely a very underrated Pokemon. It does do a lot to different mons. Moving on to Rhyperior. Now, Rhyperior is a Focus Sash mon. Ideally, I'm not going to take as much damage from different things here, but we've got Solid Rock as our ability, 3/4 on our super effective attacks, which is really nice. It means that we're not going to take as much damage from a close combat, but the Focus Sash is there just in case, like, the Roserade wants to come in and hit me with a Leaf Storm or something. I've got Stealth Rocks on here if I need to Stealth Rocks for any reason. It would be very helpful kind of late game in getting that chip, especially for Hitmonlee or Tauros to sweep. High Horsepower, which hits really hard on the vast majority of the, well, not the vast majority of the team, but hits really hard on lots of the team because it's stab. Ice Punch for things like Roserade and Golurk, which are problems for me. Even Drampa is hit for super effective on that one as well. And then counter, because realistically, something like the Pangoro hitting me with close combat, if I can counter that, that is just going to give really nice swag strat. So, not even swag strat, it's just going to be a really nice strat. So yeah, that was my thought there. We've got enough speed to actually outspeed a Pangoro at -1. So if we get the sticky webs up, we can actually outspeed Pangoro at -1. So that is something that I've got in my plans there. We can then hit it with high horsepower, but obviously if I haven't set up sticky webs, I've definitely got that counter option to hit it really hard. If we do outspeed it, obviously we do get 2 turns because I've count our stats to be able to live a close combat. Moving on to Thwackey. Now, Thwackey is an interesting Pokemon here. Basically Eviolite, because, you know, it's that. Grassy Surge and Grassy Glide, they go really well together. And Grassy Surge is going to allow Hitmonlee to activate that Grassy Seed. It's going to allow for preventing any Earthquake shenanigans from different Pokemon. And also, I think it's... I can't remember what the other 2 moves are. I think one of them's Bulldoze. I can't remember what the third one might be. Magnitude, I think it is. I think those are the 3. Might be a different one. It might not be Bulldoze. But yeah, Grassy Glide. We've got Drain Punch as well. So Drain Punch allows me to hit the Pangoro and then a Grassy Glide to take it out unless it's like really bulky. So obviously my Drain Punch would let me find that out. I am faster than it. Again, this is not the right set, so I'm going to have to recalculate this. This should be a max HP, max attack set instead of the max attack, max speed set. But yeah, we've got Drain Punch, Knockoff, U-Turn. Realistically, I U-turn 95% of the time just to get out of there. In fact, I might actually keep that so I can outspeed as much as I can and just get that U-turn damage off. And then I can use Grassy Glide to get rid of different mons if I need to. So yeah, I think that is what I'm thinking. Mons that are coming, Cloyster, Roserade, Pangoro are definitely coming. Togedemaru comes. Golurk potentially comes. Because obviously it's a really good water circuitry. And I would say Ditto potentially. Torkoal could also come. If Behem comes, I definitely predict there to be a Trick Room, so I do need to keep an eye out for that one. But yeah, there's a lot of the mons that could come this week. I don't expect the Remedies to come. I don't expect Type Null really to come, but anything's possible. Anything is possible. You can bring any mons here. But yeah, that's going to be all for today. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm out of here. So have a good one, and I'll see you soon.